So now we are going to see the botany portions of the biology of the CET examinations. So we'll go one by one with each questions, and you try to find out your correct answers and try to calculate your marks in the botany portions. So which of the following statement is correct? This is the first question. So this is the which of the following statement is correct? Okay. So there are 4 statements given, okay, and all those 4 statements are quite confusing, okay. They are not very easy. What they have done is they have jumbled the word in between both of them. So sickle cell anemia is a quantitative problem. Exactly not. It is not at all a quantitative problem. It is a qualitative problem. And when you look at the thalassemia, thalassemia is going to be a quantitative problem. If you remember, in case of the thalassemia, the total number of alleles are going to be either 2 or 4 depending upon beta thalassemia or alpha thalassemia that you are going to consider, and depending upon the number of alleles that are going to be in problem, accordingly the number of your the hemoglobin is going to be in the problem state. Now when you look at the sickle cell anemia, it is going to be your either HB normal or it is going to be HBS hemo. Now another one, hemophilia. Hemophilia is going to be driven by X, and it is going to be transferred from mother to the son, or it is depending upon the daughter. Look at the statement what they are saying. So these two are basically ruled out. Female carrier of hemophilia may transmit the disease to the son. Now look at this. Female carrier, that means X dot, it is going to be there. Let us say it is going to be crossed with X and Y. So what will happen? If father is a diseased, so definitely Y, X condition can be there, and Y and X dot condition can be there. If father is a disease, then it will affect the daughter. If father is normal, let us say father is normal in this scenario, 50% of the son is going to be normal and 50% is going to be affected. So it will transmit the disease to the son if mother is going to be carrier for the hemophilia. But if father is diseased, so this will definitely affect the daughter again in the particular given ratio. So this statement seems to be correct. Coming back to the fourth statement. Change in the whole set of chromosome is called aneuploidy. No, it is not termed as aneuploidy, it is termed as polyploidy. It is termed as polyploidy. So this is how you go with the first question, and the answer goes here as C. And you have got the reason why answer C is going to be there. Now, when you are calculating this, be very particular which portion or which condition you are taking in. Here it is written mother is basically a carrier, so definitely you have to take X dot. And father, both condition can be there, it can be a normal or it can be carrier, both condition you can take, and depending upon that you have to calculate the son. So this is how it goes with the first question. Answer is going to be your C. This is also a ruled out option. I hope you people must have understood this one. Let's go with the second question. Gene mapping technology was developed by, see, it's a very straightforward question. There is no rocket science in this question. See, all of us, we are aware of the fact that Mendel has given the concept of Mendel's laws of inheritance. He has postulated the entire theory of inheritance while working upon the garden pea. That is Pisum sativum. And you also know this fact that the Karl Correns and Teschmark, these are the two people who basically rediscovered the work. And you also know that the Karl Correns is known for its concept of codominance, and he is one of the person who was not very okay with the concept of dominance as given by the Gregor John Mendel. Now you are left with the last one. Sturtevant is going to be the option because I have eliminated all the three options. And if you remember, Sturtevant is also related with T.H. Morgan, and while giving the concept of gene mapping, he has used that between the two given gene, the distance is basically calculated on the percentage of recombination and And to give a mark of respect to Morgan, he said that this can be calculated as centimorgan, it can be calculated as Morgan, or it can also be calculated as decimorgan. So this was basically a respect given to T.H. Morgan by Sturtevant. He said that gene mapping technology. See, technology is something, a word which the question paper setter has basically exaggerated has, to be honest actually. The question could have been very simple, like who has given the concept of gene mapping. There was no technology, to be honest. Technology means there is going to be an interference of some external devices. Here basically just basis on the recombination, we are trying to calculate this. So this is how it goes. Sturtevant is going to be the answer for gene mapping technology. Next one. Find the correct statement. Generally a gene regulates a trait, but sometimes one gene has effect on the multiple trait. Now, whenever you are coming across such questions, my advice is that don't read in hurry, because I read it very fast. Have patience and read the questions very properly. Generally a gene regulates a trait, but sometimes one gene has effect on multiple traits. You must have read about multi-gene effect given properly in your NCERT. This statement is perfectly right. The trait AB blood group of a man is regulated by one dominant allele and other recessive allele, hence it is codominant. See, if you read in a flow, it will give you a feeling that okay, there was some concept of codominant. Codominant is correct, but one dominant allele, another recessive, that state, this recessive word is wrong actually here. When you look at the AB blood group, it is going to be denoted by IA and IB. And this is the classical case of codominance. It is a classical case of codominance. Hence, this will give A and this will give you B. Hence, you call it as an AB blood group system. Hence, you call it as an AB blood group. This is the classical case. So, second is not going to be dominant or recessive. This is going to be, this will also express itself, this will also express itself. So, it is a classical case of your codominance. So, this word is making this statement wrong. Now, look at the options available. Both statements are correct. No, this statement goes wrong. Statement 1 is correct. Fine. Seems to be correct. Seems to be correct. Don't conclude. Statement 2 is correct. No, ruled out. Both statements are wrong. No. So you are left with only one option, that is answer B. So your answer becomes, so your answer is B. I hope you people must have understood what I am trying to say. ABO blood group basically represents two things. One is going to be multiple allelism and second one is going to be codominance. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Okay. Now, in one of the hybridization experiment, a homozygous dominant parent and a homozygous recessive parent are crossed for a trait. Plant shows Mendelian inheritance pattern. That means the question paper setter, what they have done is that post-Mendelian concept has to be ruled out. Non-Mendelian concept has to be ruled out. You are simply have to follow the three laws of the Mendel: law of dominance, law of independent assortment and law of segregation. Nothing to be thought of codominance, incomplete dominance, this happens, that happens, nothing. The question paper setter is directly telling you that it is following the Mendel's law of inheritance. Okay. Now, in one of the hybridization experiment, a homozygous dominant. Now, homozygous dominant means, let us take capital A, homozygous dominant, and a homozygous recessive parent are crossed for a trait. A can carry out any trait. So this is homozygous dominant is crossed with small a, that is homozygous recessive trait. So this one is dominant, this is going to be dominant, and this one is going to be recessive. Now try to make the gamete out of it. This will give you just capital A, this will give you small a. Cross with both of them, capital A, small a. So this was basically the parental generation we have, and this one is going to be F1 generation. So two things are there, F1 generation. Now look at the question. In the question they are also asking for F2 generations. That means you have to go for one more generation, and since they are telling you that it is going to be the Mendel's concept, you have to go for selfing. That means capital A small a has to be crossed with capital A small a. Now when you go with this, I am writing this side actually. Now when you go with this cross, that is capital A small a is crossed with capital A small a. You know two gametes are possible here, capital A small a. Two gametes are possible here, capital A small a. This can go with this, this can go with this, this can go with this, this can go with this. Capital A, capital A, capital A small a, capital A small a, small a small a. You can see here 3:1 ratio. Dominant is appearing in F1 generation as well as F2 generation. Recessive is appearing only in case of your F2 generation. Now read the statement. Why I have done it? Because in the question paper they have given you F1 as well as F2 generation. These two things they have given. Dominant parent trait appear in F1 generation and recessive parent trait appear in F1 and F2 generation. This is totally wrong. Recessive parent trait is not appearing in F2, it is F1, it is only appearing in the F2 generation. You can see this one is F1 generation and this one is going to be your F2 generation. Now coming back to the second one, dominant parent trait appear in F1 generation. F1 generation dominant, capital A is there, so dominant will be there, so trait will appear. And recessive parent trait appear in F2 generation, and recessive parent trait appear in this. Seems to be correct? Seems to be correct. So this one is ruled out. This seems to be correct, not to be concluded right now. This seems to be correct. Dominant parent trait appears in F2 generation. Dominant parent trait appear in F2 generation. And recessive parent trait appear only in F1 generation. There is no appearance of the recessive trait in F1 generation, because F1 generation is basically a heterozygous condition, and you know that in case of a heterozygous condition, recessive trait can never express itself. Last, so A is ruled out, C is ruled out. Now look at the third one. Dominant parent trait appear in both F1 and F2 generation. Dominant trait appears both in F1 generation, F1 as well as F2 generations. Recessive parent trait appear only in F2 generation. So recessive appears only in the F2 generation. So your answer will be D. B, which seems to be correct at one point of time, is not fully correct. So your answer is D. So such type of questions, whenever you come across, give a thought on the question. So answer is going to be option D. Dominant parent trait appears in both F1 and F2 generations. So recessive parent trait appears only in case of your F2 generations. I hope you people have understood what I am trying to say. Next one now. Okay, it's purely factual actually, this one. Histone proteins are positively charged because they are rich in basic amino acid. There is no second thought. Arginine and lysine, it's a pure NCERT liner. Arginine and lysine, these are the two amino acids which are rich in basic amino acid. They are part of the histone protein. Molecular biology, that is the chapter. Eukaryotic genes are monocystronic, but they are split genes because. Now, a split gene is basically a concept in which we deal with your introns and exon concept. So what happens in case of split genes? What we say, suppose this is a gene we have. So introns and exons are there. So this is going to be exon, intron, exon, intron, exon. Okay. Now, eukaryotic genes are monocystronic, but they are split genes because, look at the statement. I have drawn the diagram. From here only you can conclude the answer. Exons are interrupted by introns. Exons are interrupted by introns. Exons are interrupted by intron. Seems to be correct. Seems to be correct. They contain exon only, ruled out. Introns only, ruled out. They are interrupted by mutons. No. Mutons refers to the mutational unit of the gene. There is a concept termed as muton, recon and cistron. So muton basically refers to the mutational unit. It refers to the mutational unit of gene. This you must have read in case of your muton, then recon, and then cistron. CIS cistron. CISTRON cistron. There is an overlap in my word actually. So this is going to be the answer is going to be A, ruled out. Why I am ruling out all the options? So that you must be in a position to understand why sir is ruling out one option, why he is not keeping the other option. Okay, fine. Next one. Lacoperon model was elucidated by Watson and Crick. They have given the model of DNA. Answer is Jacob and Monod. Jacob and Crick, Hershey and Chase, DNA, Griffith, all those experiments are there. Again, it's a pure factual straightforward question. Second one. In male, heterogametic type of sex determination, male parents, that means heterogametic means beta, it is going to give you two different types of gamete. Heterogametic. What does homogametic means? Homogametic means the organism or the species is going to give you rise to just one type of gamete. Male produces, and it is talking, we are talking with respect to male heterogametic conditions. So male parent produces dissimilar gametes. You can conclude from my first statement which I gave you. Male parents produces similar gamete. Then the word should have been homogametic. Males do not produce gametes, ruled out. Female parents produce a dissimilar gamete. Dissimilar is a different concept. So male parents produces dissimilar gamete. This is going to be an answer for your heterogametic. See, if you look at the word itself, the word is explaining you the question itself. Hetero means different types of gametes. And you know that X and Y, when you go and make the gamete, there are two types of gametes are possible, X and Y. These two are totally different. That is why it is termed as your heterogametic conditions. Now next one. A variety of Okra Pusa Swami is resistant to which of the following insect and pest? Very simple, straightforward question. It is given in your NCERT. Just one liner is there. It is shoot at the fruit borer. It is, I can say it is just like a question that you are going to, it's a mug up question or you have to remember the question, okay, nothing more than that. Identify from the following a pair of better yielding semi-dwarf varieties of rice developed in India. Semi-dwarf varieties of rice which was developed in India during the Green Revolution, first Green Revolution, which was headed by MS Swaminathan, a legendary scientist as well as worker on the field in the field of agriculture. The answer goes is Jaya and Ratna. These are the two semi-dwarf varieties of the rice, and it was influenced by the work of the Norman Borlaug, and he was basically creating the maximum variety of wheat. Again, this is a factual piece of question. There is no concept as such involved in it. Okay. Next one. Yeah. This is a very good question actually. Choose the incorrect statement with reference to kangaroo rat, and you will not believe when I was solving this question, I was, rather than reading the incorrect, I read the correct. When I read the question again, I came to know, okay, it is incorrect, okay. The same mistake that we also do and you also do actually. So choose the incorrect statement. Incorrect statement you have to choose with reference to kangaroo rat. Kangaroo rat means an rat which is basically present or found in desert condition or in a xerophytic condition where the availability of your water is very less. Now look at the options which you have. Use minimal waste water to remove excretory product, correct. This is one of the adaptation for the kangaroo rat to survive in a very desertified conditions. Found in North American desert, true, that is also true. Eliminates dilute urine. See, if it is going to eliminate dilute urine, in this scenario it is not going to preserve water. So to preserve water, it must be giving out concentrated urine. So rather than dilute, it should have been a concentrated urine, and your answer is C. But still, why to leave the fourth option? Let us read the fourth option. Meets its water requirement through the internal fat oxidation. It's a pure factual statement, and from here it basically get the water, and on the basis of that water he survives. So answer is your eliminate dilute concentrated urine. That is going to be an incorrect statement with reference to the kangaroo rat. I hope you people must be understanding what I am trying to speak. Next one. Generally, bears avoid winter by undergoing. Migration is moving from one place to the another place. Estivation, hiding itself underground during the summer condition, and it is winter they are asking. Diapause means suspended animation. The body activity will be ceased for a small period of time. Answer goes is your hibernation. So what happens? Generally, bears avoid winter by undergoing hibernation. Simple questions. So next question. Now look at this question. Match the following. Question is very easy. Question is not at all difficult. So try to match whatever information you have. So rather than a standing step, let us or standing crop, let us match with the first very simple two so that we may get an answer. So pioneer species, you know that the pioneer species are those species which basically invade a area which was not previously habitated by anything, or it's a bare area actually. So this goes with R, species that invade a bare area. Then goes the detrivores, break down the detritus into the smaller particles. So 2 is R, 3 is S, 2, R, 3 is S, this is ruled out. Okay. And 2 is R, 3 is S, fine. And 3 is S, and this one is ruled out. See, I am bringing you to a 50-50 condition actually. Now, the standing state refers to the amount of nutrient in the soil at a given point of time. That is a NCERT liner actually. Okay. So this goes with the first one is Q, and second one is going to be the mass of the living material at a given point of time. So this question is, answer is 1. Now, next one. The heavy toxic metal from various industries which cause water pollution normally have a density. It's a factual, okay. There is no rocket science in it. It has to be more than 5 gram per centimeter cube. So that is going to be the answer for a toxic heavy metal from various industries which causes water pollution. Next one. Now, identify the correct option showing the relative contribution of different greenhouse gases. So when you look at the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide has got the very high concentration. So we might think that from carbon dioxide you can get the answer, but the answer is not, this option is not so simple. So all have got 60%. Methane has got a very higher quantity actually. So methane is 20 and 20. Oxides of nitrogen and chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon is 14%. And this is going to be an ideal match actually. You can see. And the option goes is B. Chlorofluorocarbon 14%, CO2 is 60%, methane is 20%, and oxide of the nitrogen is going to be 6%. This you can also think from the fact that the methane is going to be produced from the agricultural land as well. Next one now. A flower has got 10 stamens, each having bilobed dithecous anther. If each microsporangium has 5 pollen mother cells, how many pollen grain would be produced by the flower? Now we can calculate and you can see how it goes. So in a flower, how many stamens are there? Number of stamens are 10. Okay. And they are bilobed and dithecous. Bilobed is and dithecous means bilobed or dithecous. And these are the pollen chambers which I have drawn. Bilobed, one complete lobe, another complete lobe, bilobed. Each microsporangium, this is going to be microsporangium each. And you know that in case of every dithecous bilobed, there are going to be 4 microsporangium. They have got 5 pollen mother cells. So inside each one of them you have the 5 pollen mother cell, PMC. Now look at this. So that means in each one of them 5 is there, 5 into 4. Now look at this. 1 pollen mother cell, 1 PMC gives rise to 4 pollen grain. So 5 PMC will give rise to 5 into 4, it will become 20 pollen grain. And this is with respect to just one microsporangium. How many are there? 4. So it becomes 20 into 4, it becomes how much? 80 in each stamen. In each stamen. Now how many stamens are there? 10. So it becomes 10 into 8. It will become 80. It will become 800 stamens. So is there any answer? 800 stamens. Try to calculate bit by bit. The question is very simple. 5 pollen mother cell in each microsporangium, 4 microsporangium, 5 into 4, 20, 20 into 4, it will become 80. So that means every stamen is giving rise to 80 pollen grain. And how many stamens you have? 10. 80 into 10, it will become 800 stamens. So answer is 800. Next one. During transcription, the DNA stands with strand, S-T-R-A-N-D. Strand with 3' to 5' polarity of this structural gene always act as a template. Now, very good question, and it's a conceptual question. Okay. Enzyme DNA dependent RNA polymerase always catalyzes polymerization in both directions. Not at all. One direction. That is why when you look at the what you say, it is always leading strand, lagging strand in case of your DNA replication, and in case of your transcription, you always find only one strand of DNA being transcribed. That is termed as template strand. Okay, and that is termed as non-coding strand as well. This is ruled out. Enzyme DNA dependent RNA polymerase always catalyzes in the direction of 5' to 3' direction. Seems to be correct. Seems. When I say seems to be correct, that means I am leaving option for the rest of the two options as well. Nucleotide of DNA strand with 5', 3' transferred to mRNA. Not at all. Not at all. Enzyme DNA dependent RNA polymerase always catalyzes polymerization in no. It is never takes place in 3'. It is always 5' to the 3' direction. This is the answer for it. Now, further you can understand by understanding the concept of DNA polymerase 1, DNA polymerase 2 and DNA polymerase 3. When you read all three of them, you will come to know why it is going to be only 53 direction, why not 35 direction. 53 means 5' to 3', 35 is 3' to 5' direction. That is how we say actually. So, during transcription it is speaking. Next one. According to David Tillman, long-term ecosystem experiment, the total biomass in a plots with the more species. When the more species are there, David Tillman observed that it is going to be less variation from the year to year. It was more of an stabilized system. Again, this was basically a small experiment. Next one, identify the incorrect statement regarding the flow of energy between various components of the food chain. So this is asking incorrect statement. This is asking incorrect statement. Highlighted word is that. The green plant captures about 10% of the total solar energy that falls on the leaf. No. It is 1 to 2%. So this is incorrect. But before moving or giving the answer, let us read the rest of the three. It may be possible other three might be wrong also, major wrong can be there. The amount of energy available at each trophic level is 10% of the previous trophic level. True, this is termed as 10%. This is termed as 10% law. Each trophic level loses some energy as heat to the environment. 10% goes up, 90% is radiated out. Energy flow is unidirectional. You must have seen that when you make the pyramid of energy, you always make in an upright position. It is never in an inverted position, and energy flow is always unidirectional from bottom to the top. It always goes. Reversal is not possible in case of the flow of energy. So this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. So this becomes your correct answer because this is an incorrect statement, and rest of the three statements are correct with reference to regarding the flow of energy between the different components of the ecosystem. I hope you people are getting it what I am trying to say. Next question. So let us get into this question. Match the column 1 with column 2 and choose the correct option from the following. See, the question is from plant kingdom. What they have done is they have given algae, brio, pterido, gymno. NGO they have not given, I think, yeah. And they have given one example, and they are simply asking what exactly is the match the following. If you ask me, I will match 1 or 2 which I know very well so that I can eliminate 2 of the option if possible. So gymnosperm goes with the pinus, gymnosperm goes with the pinus, 2 is P, 2 is P, P. So this is ruled out, this is ruled out. 1. Bryophyta. We all know that it is sphagnum. 1 R. Sphagnum, deal closed. So even just by knowing 1 or 2, sometime it 2 maximum you can match actually. Okay. So the option goes is D. Just 1 second, let me erase this one. Fine. Next question. Very good question. Identify the floral formula of the plant belonging to the potato family. Solanaceae they are asking. Technically they are asking Solanaceae. Undoubtedly this is the answer. Undoubtedly this is the answer. Rest all belong to one or the other. Okay. So this is the only difference, and believe me, it's a very simple one because C and A they both are going to be attached. Next one. When the vascular cambium is present in between the xylem and the phloem, then the vascular bundle is called. Now vascular bundle means it is going to be a vascular bundle, and what is present in between? Cambium, we are saying it is going to be present in between. What we are saying? We are saying cambium is going to be present in between. So this one is going to be your vascular. This is going to be vascular cambium and xylem and phloem. So now the concept of endarch and exarch is ruled out because endarch and exarch are related with the protoxylem and the metaxylem concept, whether it is inside or outside. So that is ruled out. So endarch is ruled out, exarch is ruled out. Now you are left with 2 options, closed or open. So you know the fact that when the vascular cambium is present in between, the vascular bundles are termed as open vascular bundle. Answer is this one. And closed means, in case of closed, the vascular cambium is absent. And you also know this fact that this don't show secondary growth. Don't show secondary growth. Whereas a vascular bundle which is open will always show you the secondary growth. Dicot. Classical example. Monocot. Next one. Now in this question there is a little mistake from the paper setter side, but we are taking into consideration that mistake. We by and large will think that this question is correct because there is one word which is missing out in this one. It is Musca domestica. Musca domestica actually. Musa, if you say Musa parasitica becomes banana. But since it is not given in NCERT column, so we will think that there was a typo error, there was a spelling error from the side of the KCET paper setter. So it should be Musca domestica, and by assuming that we are approaching this question. Homo sapiens can never be poales. Poales belongs to plant. It is going to be primata, and what you have to find out correctly matched. Triticum aestivum, not possible. Mangifera indica, sapindales, this one is the correct answer. Diptera. But condition is that it is a typo error. Musca domestica is a typo error. It is, they have written Musa. Musa parasitica is banana. But NCERT they have taken the entire column, so we will believe that they will consider this as a question, correct question to be honest. So answer goes is D. Next one. The complex formed by a pair of synapsed homologous chromosome is termed as NCERT liner bivalent. Complex formed by a pair of synapsed chromosome is termed as bivalent. Next question. Match the column 1 with the column 2. Select the option with correct combination. Now look at this one by one. Hypertonic, capillarity, symport, guttation. Guttation is the simplest word which we are aware of. So guttation is basically the loss of water in the form of water droplets. So 4 becomes R, 4 becomes R, 4 becomes R. These two are ruled out. These two are ruled out. 1 becomes Q. 1 becomes Q because they both are common. 1 becomes Q, so it becomes very common. Fine. See, look at this. I am just approaching from one question, one answer I am approaching everything. Look at the third one. Now it has become very easy. Symport, you know that symport is the movement of molecule from one direction to the another direction, from higher concentration to the lower concentration. And this becomes your two molecules move in the same direction, symport. I think you must be remembering symport, antiport, okay, and co-transport when you were studying in case of the plasma membrane, everything. Now comes capillarity. Capillarity is the ability of the water to rise in the given thin tube. Remember, in case of the transport in the xylem, that is transport of water, capillarity was one of the character of the xylem, due to which the water was able to rise into the column and reach to the top along with the transpiration pull as created through the leaf. So answer is, now let me match. Second goes with the S, second goes with the S, 3 goes with the P. Answer is third. Question is not difficult. If you go one by one, it's a very simple question. Now let us go with the next one. Toxicity of which of the micronutrient induces deficiency of iron, magnesium and calcium? Answer is magnesium. It's a purely factual piece of question. It's a pure fact. It's a pure fact. In NCERT when you open, there is a paragraph written, but there are certain conditions, for example, where you feel that it is due to the deficiency of magnesium or iron or calcium, something is there, but actually it is not the deficiency. The toxicity of manganese is creating the problem of deficiency. Coming to the next one. Bamboo species flowers, chapter 1, class 12th, NCERT. Once in a lifetime, after that they basically die. I think you must be remembering about annual, biennial, perennial plants. Every year, not at all possible. Bamboo plants are known for flowering once in their lifetime. After that, they can be used for the human activity. Once in a 12 years, just try to remember a flower which is very common in the confluence of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and the Kerala Valley. Try to find out. I have given you the hint. And twice in 5 to 100 years, there is no as such. Now, another one. In bryophyllum, the adventitious bud arises from. See, adventitious bud in case of bryophyllum arises from leaf. But now the problem is which part of the leaf. Look at the leaf base also they have given, leaf axil also they have given, and notches of the leaf margin also they have given. So shoot apex is ruled out. Now when you draw the diagram of a leaf, of a bryophyllum, what happens? This portion, when it comes in contact with the soil, from these area, small roots basically they arise. So they arise from the notches of the leaf margin. They are not going to come from the leaf axil, or neither they are going to come from the leaf base. So this from here basically a new plant basically arise in case of bryophyllum. So this was a good question where you can be easily caught into the trap. Next one. Primary endosperm nucleus is formed by the fusion of pen. Primary endosperm nucleus is formed by the fusion of sexual reproduction in flowering plant, chapter of NCERT. So forget about the options for a time being. Let us have a embryo sac, egg cell we have, synergids. Inside the synergids we have the filiform apparatus. This is going to be a central cell, and these are going to be the antipodals. These are going to be the antipodals. Inside this you have the polar nuclei. This is the central cell. These are the two polar nuclei. This is going to be your egg cell, and these two are going to be synergids. Fine. Look at the question. Primary endosperm nucleus is formed by the fusion of. So we are all aware of the fact. That one fuses with this and another fuses with this. So when you fuse both of them, it forms a triploid structure, that is 3N, and that is termed as primary endosperm nucleus. So that is termed as primary endosperm nucleus. So how many nuclei are there? Two nuclei will come from the polar nuclei, and one will come from the male nuclei, or when will be your male gamete or male nuclei. Search the option. One polar nuclei, one male gamete, ruled out. Two polar nuclei, one male gamete, seems to be correct. Two polar nuclei and two male gamete, ruled out. Ovum and male gamete, 100% ruled out. Your answer will be B. See, I am giving you the reason why other options are incorrect, okay. So this is going to be primary endosperm nucleus is formed by the fusion of two polar nuclei and one male gamete. This is also termed as triple fusion. Fine. Coming to the next one. Which pair of the following cell in the embryo sac are destined to change their ploidy after fertilization? Previous one, if you go the previous one, you can get the answer from here also. Which is changing the ploidy number? Normally, egg cell was N. Okay, let me change the color so that we can have a, okay. So the egg cell was basically N. This is N. This is N. So after fertilization, ploidy of the central cell is changing. After fertilization, ploidy of the egg cell is changing, because this egg cell will also combine with your male gamete. So after this, what will happen? This egg cell and this one, due to this, it will become diploid. So that is your 2N. And this becomes primary endosperm nucleus becomes 3N. That is going to be your triploid condition. So look at the next question. The pair of the following cells in the embryo sac are destined to change their ploidy level. Antipodals, no changes was there, ruled out. Synergid, no changes was there, ruled out. Egg cell and the central cell, fine, seems to be correct. Synergid and egg cell, again synergid is ruled out. So option is going to be egg cell and the central cell. One nucleus fuses with the egg cell, making it the zygote. One fuses with the central cell, which has got the polar nuclei, which will form the primary endosperm nucleus, so that it can be converted into your endosperm development, you know. So with this, we end the discussion of the botany section of the biology paper of your KCET. Hope I have tried to explain you everything bit by bit. Try to calculate your answer according to whatever discussion we have done, okay. All the best. Thank you.